I'd like to welcome everyone welcome our faculty, other members of the university community, family, friends, and those being honored today to this faculty promotion reception. Thanks to everyone for joining. Because of our closure last year, which was certainly unfortunate, and our inability to meet in person this year, where we're celebrating 2 years worth of promotions via Zoom, which many see as the new normal. And in some ways it's valuable. We have people who might not ordinarily be able to be with us. And in some ways it's unfortunate because we don't have the opportunity to interact and share some food and celebrate in a different way. But this is how it is this year, and we're very pleased that with everyone being with us. We're going to be recognizing the contributions to the department, the school, the university, for many people who have been involved with the department over the past several years. There have been tremendous contributions made to the department and tremendous achievements at the local, national, and international levels, as well as innovations and other academic contributions. Being promoted goes beyond the more immediate honors and accomplishments of faculty members. Things such as outstanding teaching, great service to the community and the clinical world, membership in study sections, receipt of research grants, displays of leadership are things we all do all the time. That's what faculty members spend their time doing. But the accomplishments we're recognizing today are those that go one step beyond. They're truly accomplishments that have accumulated over many years and are real milestones in one's academic careers. Being promoted in faculty ranks signifies a qualitative step in one's academic status that's not simply based on the number of things one does, but also the quality and the diversity of the activities that our faculty have been so successful with. Within the Department of Epidemiology and Public Health, we're a diverse group of faculty with many different interests and talents. The theme that ties us together as a faculty is our commitment to improving the health and well-being of the entire population through our research, teaching, and service. Now, before recognizing the 13 individuals being honored today, I want to thank our department's appointments, promotions, and tenure committee, chaired this year and last by Dr. Ann Gruber-Baldini, and faculty who served on this committee to help me determine who's made contributions worthy of promotions. And then to work with these faculty to prepare materials which will need to go through additional reviews. And here you can see the names of those that have served on the committee over the past 2 years. Now, after the department finishes this review, I want to tell you a little about the approval process overall. After the department makes a review and makes a recommendation to me, I provide an additional review and make a recommendation to the Dean of the School of Medicine. The Dean then asks the School of Medicine's Appointments, Promotion, and Tenure Committee to take another look at the credentials and view them across the entire school, the perspective not just of one department and a group of friends and colleagues who know each other and work together, but at a totally different level of scrutiny. It then receives further review by the School of Medicine's Executive Committee. That's a committee made up of all of the department chairs from the School of Medicine, the institute leaders and associate deans. And they also need to approve the promotion that's being recommended. And finally, it goes to back to the dean, and then it goes to the School of Medicine Council and on to the campus president. So it's a process that has many steps and really is not one that anyone takes lightly or as an insignificant matter of course. It's not an automatic. It's something people need to earn and be recognized for. Before we introduce and say a few words about each of those being promoted, I'd like to acknowledge a few people. I'd like to acknowledge Rhonda Caldwell Dove, our Faculty Affairs Coordinator, who is somewhere on the line today being pictured. I'd also, she provided support for the Appointments, Promotion, and Tenure Committee and oversight of today's promotion celebration. In preparing for this celebration, she worked closely with Tina American Kramer, our media coordinator, who is probably sitting somewhere with a headset on and monitoring our entire program to ensure that it works smoothly. We also worked with Carol Longo, who did some very valuable editing for us, and have Erin Walton, who's backing things up for media support. This group provided outstanding support and oversight for today's celebration. We are hoping, unlike the last time we tried to do this, that we can carry this out without any glitches. So thank you to all of you that have worked so hard to make this possible. Because we have 13 promotions over the past 2 years, and because we all know that sitting with a Zoom call for too many hours is not very productive, leads one to do a lot of other things at the same time. And because we have so many, we've decided to have most of the introductory comments provided by video. So there are short 3-minute maximum videos of the sort of the introductory comments for most of the people being promoted. And then there's an opportunity for each of the people being promoted to say a few words, either live, and for those who could not be here for a live comment, to have that as a recorded comment. So with that as an introduction, I'd like to start by recognizing the promotion of Rebecca Brotman, who was awarded tenure this past year. She'll be introduced by her division head, Anthony Harris, who is the director of the Division of Genomic Epidemiology and Clinical Outcomes. And I believe that she is not able to be here, so she will have a few recorded comments of her own. Being promoted goes beyond the more immediate honors and accomplishments of faculty members. Things such as outstanding teaching, great service to the community and the clinical world, membership in study sections, receipt of research grants, displays of leadership are things we all do all the time. That's what faculty members spend their time doing. But the accomplishments we're recognizing today are those that go one step beyond. They're truly accomplishments that have accumulated over many years and are real milestones in one's academic careers. Being promoted in faculty ranks signifies a qualitative step in one's academic status that's not simply based on the number of things one does, but also the quality and the diversity of the activities that our faculty have been so successful with. Within the Department of Epidemiology and Public Health, we're a diverse group of faculty with many different interests and talents. The theme that ties us together as a faculty is our commitment to improving the health and well-being of the entire population through our research, teaching, and service. Now, before recognizing the 13 individuals being honored today, I want to thank our department's appointments, promotions, and tenure committee, chaired this year and last by Dr. Ann Gruber-Baldini, and faculty who served on this committee to help me determine who's made contributions worthy of promotions. And then to work with these faculty to prepare materials which will need to go through additional reviews. And here you can see the names of those that have served on the committee over the past 2 years. Now, after the department finishes this review, I want to tell you a little about the approval process overall. After the department makes a review and makes a recommendation to me, I provide an additional review and make a recommendation to the Dean of the School of Medicine. The Dean then asks the School of Medicine's Appointments, Promotion, and Tenure Committee to take another look at the credentials and view them across the entire school, the perspective not just of one department and a group of friends and colleagues who know each other and work together, but at a totally different level of scrutiny. It then receives further review by the School of Medicine's Executive Committee. That's a committee made up of all of the department chairs from the School of Medicine, the institute leaders, and associate deans. And they also need to approve the promotion that's being recommended. And finally, it goes to back to the dean, and then it goes to the School of Medicine Council and on to the campus president. So it's a process that has many steps and really is not one that anyone takes lightly or as an insignificant matter of course. It's not an automatic. It's something people need to earn and be recognized for. Before we introduce and say a few words about each of those being promoted, I'd like to acknowledge a few people. I'd like to acknowledge Rhonda Caldwell Dove, our Faculty Affairs Coordinator, who is somewhere on the line today being pictured. I'd also, she provided support for the Appointments, Promotion, and Tenure Committee and oversight of today's promotion celebration. In preparing for this celebration, she worked closely with Tina American Kramer, our media coordinator, who is probably sitting somewhere with a headset on and monitoring our entire program to ensure that it works smoothly. We also worked with Carol Longo, who did some very valuable editing for us, and have Erin Walton, who's backing things up for media support. This group provided outstanding support and oversight for today's celebration. We are hoping, unlike the last time we tried to do this, that we can carry this out without any glitches. So thank you to all of you that have worked so hard to make this possible. Because we have 13 promotions over the past 2 years, and because we all know that sitting with a Zoom call for too many hours is not very productive, leads one to do a lot of other things at the same time. And because we have so many, we've decided to have most of the introductory comments provided by video. So there are short 3-minute maximum videos of the sort of the introductory comments for most of the people being promoted. And then there's an opportunity for each of the people being promoted to say a few words, either live, and for those who could not be here for a live comment, to have that as a recorded comment. So with that as an introduction, I'd like to start by recognizing the promotion of Rebecca Brotman, who was awarded tenure this past year. She'll be introduced by her division head, Anthony Harris, who is the director of the Division of Genomic Epidemiology and Clinical Outcomes. And I believe that she is not able to be here, so she will have a few recorded comments of her own.
Hi, I'm honored to make this presentation for Rebecca Brotman. Rebecca received her bachelor's in political science with a minor in biology from WashU in 1996, and she received her MPH in 2001 from Johns Hopkins University, and she received her PhD in epidemiology from Johns Hopkins as well in 2007. After earning her PhD, we were lucky to get her at the University of Maryland, where she started a postdoctoral fellowship under Dr. Jacques Ravel. She became an assistant professor in 2008 and has followed a really linear and course towards promotion. She was promoted in 2010 to the tenure track. She was promoted to associate professor in 2016. In 2017, she was awarded tenure, and the speech in this ceremony has been delayed, unfortunately, due to COVID, and she was promoted to full professor in 2020. She spends the majority of her time doing research and has excelled in all aspects of research. Her research focuses on the vaginal microbiota. She studies the microbiome and related risk factors, mainly in the area of sexually transmitted diseases. But she also studies external factors like cigarette smoking, female hygiene practices, and their effect on the microbiota. She has a really unbelievable, and as I indicated, linear funding track record with the NIH. So she initially had a KO1, Career Development Award, then received an R21. Then when she came off her KO1, quickly received 2 NIH R01s and has had consistent NIH funding. She recently received as co-PI with Dr. Michelle Chardel an NIH R01 and is studying age-related and lifestyle-related factors in the vaginal microbiome. In terms of publications, she has over 70 publications. They're in outstanding journals. Need to read this part because I don't know these journals as well. She's cited in journals such as Menopause, Clinical Infectious Diseases, Annals of Epidemiology, American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology, and the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. She's received a ton of investigator awards, and I need to read those as well, including the Genome Web Young Investigator Award, the North American Menopause Society New Investigator Award, the Infectious Disease Society for Obstetrics and Gynecology Investigator Award, and the Best Paper Award from the North American Menopause Society. As well, she's done a really nice job in the last half-decade mentoring PhD students. They speak incredibly highly of her passion about research and her mentoring of them and concern about them and their careers. On a more personal note, I love having discussions with Rebecca about her husband and her kids and work-life balance and different aspects related to that. Overall, I just wanted to give her a heartfelt congratulations, well-deserved, and we look forward to many more years at the University of Maryland. Congratulations.
Thank you, Anthony. And I believe there'll be a few comments. Yes, go ahead with, she's here, but she's got a pre-recorded statement. Go ahead.
I gave a talk at NYU a few years ago, and they had this artwork commissioned for posters to advertise my talk on the vaginal microbiome. I thought it also represents well my life in academia. One of my longtime mentors told me, the key to academic success is to find your pack and love them. I have a few words of thanks for my pack. My parents moved to Baltimore to help me take care of my 2 kids when they were infants. This allowed me the time and protected space to get my first career development NIHK award. My mom was my first role model for political activism, public health, and being a working mother. My father is probably most responsible for my career in science and public health, having taken me as a child to every science center and air and space museum in most major cities across the country. A special thank you to the support that IGS, Dr. Claire Fraser, and Dr. Jacques Ravel provide. They offered me safe haven and a supportive research environment and the time and opportunity to apply for career development awards and independent funding. They have always asserted the importance of a multidisciplinary approach to clinical research. Thank you to my collaborators, the Department of Epidemiology and Public Health, Jay Magaziner, and to my division, Anthony Harris, for ushering me through and always providing expert and timely advice every time I call. I also want to thank my children for the constant inspiration that they provide me. Finally, I owe my deepest gratitude to my husband, Ryan Miller. He has cheerfully endured my career with care and patience. He is a scientist and physician with great integrity, and I learn something every day from him. As I record this thank you, I have a R01 grant under review today. It is on a topic that I've spent the better part of the last decade thinking about. It reminds me how long it takes a seed of an idea to come to reality and how support from my PAC helps me to be persistent. So thank you.
Next comment comes from me for Denise Orwig. I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to recognize my colleague, Denise Orwig, who is being honored for her promotion to the rank of professor. Denise meets all the criteria for promotion based on her research, extensive educational achievements, and her service to the university and wider scientific communities. Denise has been instrumental in leading and collaborating on research in multiple areas. She has led the Baltimore Hip Studies program since 2011. Much of the international reputation and success of the program can be credited to Denise's dedication, expertise in research methodology, and successful management. She is recognized as an expert in the recruitment and retention of subjects for large prospective studies and clinical trials involving frail older persons, and is expert in methods to assess multiple aspects of function in older people. Denise also is recognized for her contributions in pharmacoepidemiology and medication management for older people. She developed the medication management instrument for deficiencies in the elderly, which has gained national and international recognition as a measure which is widely cited in textbooks, websites, and grant applications. Beyond her research, Denise has been an essential member of the intercampus doctoral program in gerontology since its inception in 2001. She was appointed as director in 2010, and just last year as a multiple principal investigator of the Epidemiology of Aging training program. In addition to leading these programs, Denise also teaches a biology of aging course and has been mentor for many students. In 2013, she received the Outstanding Mentor Award from the department, and in 2015 was recognized with the Outstanding Faculty Mentor, University System of Maryland's Promise Association for Graduate Education and Professorate Award, which recognizes outstanding mentoring and inclusion of underrepresented graduate students in STEM fields. Denise is a wonderful colleague, and there is little I can think of that she would not do to ensure the success of a project she leads or collaborates on. One unusual example goes back several years when we stored our serum samples in -70-degree freezers at the Union Memorial Hospital. Well, on a very cold Christmas Eve, I received a freezer alarm warning that freezer number 4 had stopped working. I can remember being in the lab with Denise, moving serum specimens from one freezer to another at midnight that Christmas Eve, and will never forget how we saved the serum from a fatal flaw. It continues to be a pleasure working with Denise as she pursues her research and continues to advance the programs she leads. Go ahead, Dr. Orwig.
Hello, everyone. I want to start by congratulating my fellow colleagues whose achievements were also recognized through promotion and or tenure over the past 2 years. My promotion would not be possible without the numerous contributions from others. As they say, it takes a village. I am grateful to the collaborations of 29 local hospitals, their staff, and orthopedic community that serves as the Baltimore Hip Studies Network, where we recruit our participants that allows us to conduct our important research. I am always humbled by the willingness of patients and the support of their families to enroll in our studies and contribute their time to help future hip fracture patients. I have been extremely fortunate to have the most amazing research staff over the years whose dedication and commitment to what we do is extraordinary. It has been a privilege working with our talented students and seeing their successes, and they have definitely taught me a lot along the way. I have also had the pleasure of working with numerous outstanding faculty within this department, school, campus, and beyond. And last but certainly not least is the mentorship of Dr. Jay Magaziner. Who knew that when he gave a talk at Penn State 24 years ago, it would result in such an incredible journey? I cannot begin to express how much I have learned from you and appreciate the opportunities you have given. I am honored to have you as my mentor and even so as my friend. And of course, my family and friends are always there lending their support. My mom and my dad were my first mentors who taught me that I could achieve anything I put my mind to, and that helping and inspiring people was a noble pursuit in life. I hope I have made them proud over the last 23 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And next, we're going to turn to Shu Chen. And Shu Chen also is here live with us. But I don't know, did he pre-record? No, he's here live to make a few comments. But he is going to be introduced by his division head, Soren Benson, who heads the Division of Biostatistics and Bioinformatics. Show.
It's a great pleasure for me to give you a brief introduction to Dr. Shu Chen, who joined us in 2017 and who has now been awarded tenure at the rank of associate professor. Shu joined us on the non-tenure track, but got permission from the dean's office to go straight from there to getting tenure. Now, in brief, Shu's background is that he got a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering in the People's Republic of China back in 2003, and that was followed by a Master's in Mathematics and Statistics from East Tennessee State University in 2004. Then he earned a PhD in Biostatistics and a Master of Science degree in Public Health from Emory University in 2012. In 2012, he became Assistant Professor of Biostatistics in the School of Public Health at College Park, and we were lucky to recruit him in 2017, where he joined us as an Associate Professor on the non-tenure track and as the Director of Biostatistics and the Data Management Core of the Maryland Psychiatric Research Center. Shu has had a stellar time with us. We are very proud of all his accomplishments. He's a much sought after biostatistician and co-investigator. At the time of his promotion or his awarding of tenure, he was funded by 12 grants totaling more than $40 million. He has 44 peer-reviewed papers, 13 as first and senior author or senior author. He has 22 of these published after joining us in 2017, and he has articles in a number of high impact journals in the domain of his collaborations. He's active in classroom teaching on top of the teaching he did at College Park. He has taught the longitudinal data analysis course with us and is currently teaching the SAS course. He's the advisor or dissertation committee chair for 6 PhD students and 7 MPH students, and he has been a dissertation committee member for more than 20 graduate students, and many of his students have received awards for the research they did together with you. The jewel in the crown is probably his Avenir Director's Award from the National Institute of Drug Abuse. with the title A Multivariate Mediation and Deep Learning Framework for Genome Connectome Substance Use Research. The total direct cost of the grant is $2.28 million. Avenir is derived from the French Work for Future, and these awards are awarded to future leaders in the field of drug abuse research. So we're very proud of that, and I'm sure Shura is also proud of that. So all in all, this is a much deserved awarding of tenure, and congratulations, you. This is just reward for all your hard work. So congratulations.
Thank you. And Shu, I believe you're here to make a few live remarks.
Thank you, Jay. Yeah, at first I would like to thank Soren and for his wonderful mentorship. And from the first day I joined School of Medicine, he talked with me about the strategy and the career development plan, and I'm truly grateful for that. And I think I deeply believe biostatistical and bioinformatics research should be rooted from medical research. And the School of Medicine indeed provides me a variety of great opportunities to get access to the great data and collaborate with biomedical research from all areas, particularly in neuroscience. And I'm also thankful for the support from Maryland Psychiatric Research Center, Dr. Buchanan, as the director, and my collaborator, including Elliot Hong, Peter Kochinov, Jim Gold, and Dee Kelly. All these collaborators are wonderful. They we discuss science problems and data questions regularly, and we can identify jointly interesting topics, which indeed is an enjoyable experience. I would also like to thank my my family, my wife, who is also a faculty member at Towson. She's an assistant professor of accounting, so she's quite busy, and we have 2 kids. So my parents and my parents-in-law just take turns sometimes to come up to help us with young kids, and I'm truly grateful for that. So yeah, that's
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Shu. Thank you very much. And next, we're going to turn to Surbi Lika, who has an associate professor, also awarding of tenure. And Anthony Harris again will say a few words.
Congratulations, Surbi. This is a big achievement. I wish we were celebrating in person, although during COVID, I definitely have seen you enough with day-to-day hospital epi. Bit of background on Surbi. She received her MBA BS, which is the equivalent of a medical degree at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi, India. This is the Harvard of Indian medical schools. She then received her MPH from the University of Massachusetts in Amherst. She did her residency in internal medicine fellowship at the Mayo Institute, and she joined us in 2010 as an assistant professor. For those of you who don't know, the Mayo Clinic is worldwide basically for providing outstanding care to patients, and is an area where many academic hospitals and patients choose to go to when they're not happy with their care at their own academic hospitals. Dean Wilson used to refer to people such as Surbi as a triple threat. I like to think of her as a quadruple threat. She's outstanding in teaching, hospital epidemiology, research, and is an outstanding clinician. Let's start with her hospital epi day-to-day work. It's just truly outstanding. It's been outstanding pre-COVID. It's outstanding during COVID. She leads mainly the University of Maryland Medical Center Hospital Epi program. but during COVID has also done hours of work at the system level. Her work ethic in this area is unparalleled, and her knowledge is unparalleled. She's achieved a national reputation as a leading hospital epidemiologist, as evidenced by her being asked in leadership positions for SHE over the years, numerous leadership positions. She's also given numerous talks at SHE annual meetings, and SHE every 10 years as a decennial, and Serbi was asked to speak in 2020 at that decennial. Her research focuses on hospital epidemiology. Areas of expertise include Clostridia difficile, infections, and diagnostic stewardship. Diagnostic stewardship relates to how to order the right test for the right person at the right time. But she's really on the cusp of one aspect that I really wanted to highlight that just represents a lot of her publications. She has over 85 publications, but this area that I wanted to highlight is really groundbreaking. She's on the cusp with some research on hospital onset bacteremia, of the CDC adopting this as a national metric. The CDC does not have a lot of national metrics, and Serbi has been working for years on hospital onset bacteremia. I've been on a number of calls with her and the CDC lately, and it's absolutely clear that the CDC is moving ahead with this metric that Serbi pretty much developed. This is a tremendous, tremendous achievement. She's also received funding from the CDC for some of this research and the state health department. As a teacher, she has the unenviable task of teaching statistics to the med students along with Dr. Magder. She taught this to second years and now is teaching it to first years. The students continually give her strong, very strong evaluations, and she's won some teaching awards. This is a difficult task, which she's performed admirably at. For those of you who don't know, Serbi is extremely, extremely, extremely bright. Someone once told me that Serbi is the only person they know who can play chess in the fourth dimension. What I took this to mean is she's extremely bright, and it's hard for all of us to keep up with her. In summary, I wanted to congratulate you on getting tenure. This is a well-deserved award, and I wanted to congratulate you and hope that we can celebrate post-COVID in an enjoyable way. Congratulations.
Thank you, Anthony. And Serbi?
Thank you. Well, now I wish I had recorded my speech because I'm really left speechless. I do want to say that I don't actually play chess. So for whatever that's worth, I cannot play chess. I'm not good at it. We've gone so far without talking about the pandemic, but I think the pandemic's brought several things to light for us, and especially of things that are beyond our control. And I like to offer the same perspective on positive things as well, right? So much that comes to us that is considered an achievement or success, I think, is really a product of what we are given by others and the opportunities that have been afforded to us over a lifetime. And I definitely feel that way very strongly. So, whether it's the privilege that I had growing up, getting into medical school, coming to some of the best places here, and then joining this wonderful division led by Anthony, with his mentorship and advice all along, as well as the department and the school. And then for me, particularly opportunities afforded by the hospital. One thing that wasn't mentioned that I've really enjoyed and has been a big part of my academic career is also the opportunity to have co-led research practicum, which has brought me really close to the department as a whole and extended my relationships with colleagues pretty much across the school. So, again, it's another opportunity that I need not have had, but came to love and grow into. I don't really have much else to say, but thank you very much. I have some clinical responsibilities today and will probably need to sign off early. And so wanted also to celebrate and congratulate all my colleagues who are also getting promoted today. Thank you.
Thank you, Surbi. If you figure out chess and how to play it in the fourth dimension, please try to share it in a way that even a medical student can understand. Okay, we're going to move on to Yuqi Zhang, who is being promoted to associate professor with tenure. Yuqi. And I believe she'll be introduced by her division head, Soren Benson.
It's
Soren.
a great pleasure for me to give a brief introduction to Dr. Yuji Zhang. Yuji joined us in 2014 as an assistant professor on the tenure track. And it's a special pleasure to say that she was actually the first faculty hire after I joined as a director of the division at the end of 2013. Now, Yuji has had a great career. She became a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering from Southeast University in China in 2000. And then she got a Master of Science in Bioinformatics from the same university in 2003. That was followed in 2010 with a PhD in Computer Engineering from Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University. And then she worked as an assistant professor in the Department of Health Sciences Research at the Mayo Clinic College of Medicine from 11 to 14. As I mentioned, she joined us in 14 as an assistant professor, and then in 18 she was promoted to associate professor. And today we are celebrating that she has been awarded tenure. Now, Yuji has a very broad range of research activities. She has expertise in many aspects of novel approaches to the analysis of large omics data, as well as natural language processing. She has worked on gene regulatory networks, identification of disease-specific networks, and network analysis of associations in public databases. She has collaborative research experience in medical informatics, ontology, software engineering, biomedical, and basic sciences. And she has an impressive range of domain applications from cardiac myopathy in zebrafish models via breast cancer and alcohol consumption, gene expression and immune response, and all the way to studies of the gene regulatory pathways in human cancers. She has 53 peer-reviewed publications, and she's the first or senior author on 26 of these, and many of them are in prestigious journals: Bioinformatics and Briefings in Bioinformatics, Cancer Research, Nature, Communications, and so on and so forth. She has served as a lecturer in statistics for molecular biology, molecular epidemiology, and molecular toxicology. And she also has extensive mentoring and supervisory experience. So being awarded tenure is just reward for all of Yuji's hard work. She has been absolutely impressive in how she has settled here at the School of Medicine. She has been building up networks, and she has been collaborating with a wide range of groups. She's a go-getter who will look for work and for opportunities. And it has been a pleasure to see how she has grown during the 7 years she has been with us. So congratulations, Yuji, with this richly deserved honor.
Thank you, Soren. And there'll be a recorded message now.
Thanks a lot, Soren, for such a lovely introduction. And thanks to Jay, Rona, and Tina for organizing this wonderful celebration for us. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Soren, Susan, and other members in my division, department, and cancer center for your support along the years. I want to thank my mentors for guiding me and advising me whenever I meet something challenging. I also want to thank my wonderful collaborators. Our collaboration have brought me so much joy. Finally, I want to share my achievement with my wonderful family, my husband Jay, my daughter Lyra, and my son Leo. I look forward so many more years of productive engagement with you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Yuji. I don't know if Yuji's on, but if you are, just give a signal. Okay, let's move on to next. Jennifer Albrecht has been promoted to associate professor. And again, Anthony is going to say a few words about Jennifer.
Just wanted to congratulate Jennifer on this amazing achievement. And it's unfortunate that we have to do this remotely. This is a big achievement and it deserves a big celebration. I want to give you first a little bit of background on Jen. She received her BA from SUNY Buffalo, and then she took a very important job, motherhood. She was a mother for 18 years to 3 kids. I've met her 3 children, and she clearly has excelled at that job. Her kids are outstanding and speak about the tremendous job she did for all those years. She then came to the University of Maryland to obtain a PhD in epidemiology and obtained it under the supervision of Dr. J.J. Faruno. She completed this degree in 2010. There are many reasons why Jen should be promoted, but I just wanted to highlight some of them. One is her outstanding research and contributions to research, and 2 is her outstanding teaching and outstanding contributions to the department. Let's start with research. She wrote a difficult to obtain HRQ career development grant, and she received that award. It was for 5 years of funding and career development. And boy, was she productive during those 5 years. She now has over 75 publications just having come off that HRQ. Her research focuses on geriatric trauma and geriatric traumatic brain injury. She's a national expert on claims database and analysis of claims database, and has a secondary interest in economic outcomes and patient outcomes in issues related to sleep disorders. She's a co-investigator on a number of funded grants, including grants from the DoD and a number of foundations. She's carving out a niche of being an expert in traumatic brain injury, and I'm very convinced that she will get funded in this area for many years to come. Relative to teaching and commitment to the department, the list is so extensive that I had to write it down. First, relative to teaching, she took over teaching observational epidemiology course, the upper level course that PhD and master's students take, from myself and Dr. Hungerford about 5 years ago. And in taking that over, she improved it and has made it a much better experience for the students. She's track leader for the PhD in epidemiology and has done that for over 5 years. And she's recently taken over from Kristen Stafford as Director of Clinical Research Education Program. She's been chair of over 7 dissertation committees, chair or co-chair, and a number of these have been somewhat challenging committees in which she's done an absolutely unbelievable job. Not surprisingly, she's received 4 mentoring awards. She's been chair of the Comprehensive Exam Committee for 5 years, a GPC member for 5 years, a school medicine council rep for 3 years, and research faculty representative on the Women in Medicine and Science Executive Council. Relative to her hobbies, she enjoys outdoor gardening, biking, and skiing. She's a great team player in the division, and we value her contributions both to our infectious disease research and to our non-infectious disease research. I hope post-COVID, to continue to go to concerts with her and her husband. Jen, thank you for all that you do for the division and the department. Congratulations.
Thank you, Anthony. Jennifer.
Thank you so much, Anthony, for all the great things that you just said about me. And since I have a platform, if anybody ever wants to go mountain biking, you know where to find me. I did do my PhD in the department, and so I thought, how far back should I go to start thanking people? And I decided I was going to cut it off at the assistant professor transition. So first, I want to thank my family, my husband, Steve, and my mom, Bee, who are on the Zoom today, my children, Danielle, Sarah, and Jess, for their enduring love and support for me, no matter what I'm doing or where I am in life. I want to start off with the transition to assistant professor by thanking Kate Tracy and Pat Langenberg, who may not be on, but they were really instrumental in helping me secure a faculty position here through the Birch K-12. So they really encouraged me to apply for it and then mentored me as I wrote my K-01 from AHRQ. I'd like to thank Gordon Smith, who acted as my mentor on the K-12 and who was a co-mentor to me on my K-01. Daniel Mullins, who mentored me through 5 years of K-01, was a fantastic mentor. Anthony, my division chair, who has been very supportive to me over these many years now that I've been in his division. Jay is a fantastic department chair, has been so encouraging and supportive of me throughout this entire time that he's known me, which is really since 2009, I think, when I joined the PhD program. I'd like to specifically thank two unofficial mentors, but people that I go to for advice regularly, and they are Michael Tarrin and Mary Claire Rogman. They have been providing advice to me for a while, and as Michael says, free of charge and worth what you pay for it. That is not true. It's always the advice is always worth more than I paid for it. I'd like to thank certainly all of my colleagues in the department, and especially my fellow epidemiologists. You guys make work fun. Love talking about epi with people. I'd like to especially call out my colleague, Dr. Emerson Wickwire, who's in the Department of Medicine and Psychiatry. He and I have published more than 20 papers together over these past many years, and he is a fantastic collaborator. And I'd just like to say congratulations again to everybody who has been promoted in 2020 and 2021. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jennifer. And next, we're going to turn to Kusik Biswas. And Kusik is going to be introduced by Soren Benson.
Now, it's a great pleasure for me to give you a brief introduction to Dr. Kusik Biswas, who joined us as an assistant professor in 2011 and who has now been promoted to the rank of associate professor on the non-tenure track. Kusik has had a long and glorious career. He got a Bachelor of Science in Engineering from Calcutta University in India in 1986. In 1997, he was awarded a Master of Science in Statistics and a PhD in Engineering with emphasis in statistics from West Virginia University. And then from 1997 to 2000, he was an assistant professor at the Ballarat School of Engineering in Australia. In 2000 to 2003, he was assistant professor at the University of Idaho School of Engineering. And then in 2003, he was hired as a biostatistician working with the Coordinated Science Program Coordination Center in Perry Point here in Baltimore under the VA. He became the deputy director of that unit in 2009. And in 2016, he became the director of the Perry Point unit. He got his academic affiliation with us, his appointment as assistant professor back in 2011. Kusik has provided statistical leadership in 15 multi-site randomized clinical trials and 2 multi-center observational studies, and that cover all aspects of trial design, conduct of the trial, data collection, analysis, and interpretation and publication of the results. Most of the trials have been concerned with conditions that are of specific interest to the VA health system, including PTSD, depression, spinal cord injury, Parkinson's disease with psychosis, substance abuse, and so on. This has resulted in 28 peer-reviewed publications so far, including publications in very high-profile journals such as New England Journal of Medicine, The Lancet, or JAMA Psychiatry. Kusik's day job is that he's directing the work of 35 to 40 staff members in various aspects of trial design, conduct, data analysis, and publication of results. He has also played a very active role in mentoring biostatisticians from academia and the pharmaceutical industry, mentoring VA clinical investigators and professionals from various areas. In terms of service, Kusik has served on or serves on numerous VA work groups and committees, both locally and nationally. Now, I've had the pleasure of working with Kusik over the years. I've been serving on a couple of data safety monitoring boards, and I can only say that I'm a great admirer of his style. He's very diplomatic. Running a multi-center trial is a bit like herding cats, and Kusik is definitely very capable and a very smooth operator in these situations. We have also had the pleasure of developing a close collaboration between our two units in the last few years. That has led to appointment of a couple of our statisticians in part-time roles with the VA coordinating center, and I think it has been mutually beneficial, and we hope to continue this collaboration going forward. Also, Kusik's unit has provided clinical trials management support for some of the trials that have been originating from the UNB. So all in all, the promotion to associate professor is richly deserved, and what can I say except congratulations to Kusik.
Thank you, Soren. And Kusik can't be here, and here's a few comments from Kusik.
Hi, my name is Kaushik Biswas. First, I apologize for not attending the ceremony in person. I have been an assistant professor at the Department of Epidemiology and Public Health since 2011, and as of July 1st, 2020, I have been promoted to the associate professor position at the department. I work closely with the Division of Biostatistics at the department and with Dr. Soren Benson and other biostatisticians at the division. My main activities are with the Cooperative Studies Program, Office of Research and Development at the VA. I am the director of one of the trial coordination centers where we provide statistical data management and project management support to VA clinicians to plan, design, and execute multi-site randomized clinical trials funded intramurally by ORD. My center has been working with university researchers also to support their NIH, DoD, or Gates Foundation funded RCTs or clinical studies with statistical data management and administrative supports. For example, currently we are working with Drs. Hasday and Terrence study to support their DoD funded ARDS trial. In the past, we took part in other university trials, for example, FOCUS, a blood transfusion study with Dr. Michael Terran, and GEMS, a 7-country diarrhea study for kids under 5 years of age funded by Gates Foundation and managed by the Center of Vaccine Development at the School of Medicine. I am very happy with the promotion and looking forward to work with the department and the School of Medicine as a whole in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you, Kusik. Thank you very much. And next we'll turn to the last promotion for 2020, Kristen Stafford. Kristen has been promoted to associate professor, and to make a few comments about Kristen, we have a live commenter, Man Sharat, who heads the epidemiology and preventive medicine division in the Institute for Genome Sciences and is also a faculty member in epidemiology and public health. Man.
Right, Jay, that's IHV. But so
Yes.
congratulations, Kristen. I'm really proud to introduce Kristen. And she has been fighting, and supporting the response to the HIV/AIDS in Baltimore City, even before IHV was IHV in the 1990s. And then she went and left to get her MPH at Johns Hopkins for a couple of years, returned back, then this time to get her PhD with us in 2010 to 2015. She was a recipient of the Trudy Bush Award from the department in 2013, the Otani Award in improving the quality of academic studies among fellow students also in the same year, and ultimately also was part of the wonderful Birch Award for 2 years after she had done her PhD. So when I took over from Bill Blattner, as you know, and subsequently from Bob Redfield for our global program, I could only think of one person to reach out to help me run the center, which now have grown quite a lot, and it was Kristen. And to be honest, the success of the IHV and the School of Medicine international program, across multiple countries in Africa would not have been possible without Kristen, knowing what we all have gone through for the last 20 years, whether it be establishing, continuous quality improvement program in Nigeria, or at a spur of a moment, grabbing our backpack to get on planes to set up operation in many of these places in Africa and in the Caribbean. Nearly 20 years ago, Kristen was there. And so the foundation that was established that has grown to what we see now, into a robust center that ultimately have been supporting life-saving treatment for millions of people in Africa, but also doing large-scale population science studies and having global visibility. Kristen is always there. And really, to me, I think the department, the School of Medicine, and the university, have benefited a lot from Kristen's unwavering citizenship, sacrifice, but also standing on her own 2 feet scientifically and in excellence, and having multiple PI grants and nearly 50 publication in high impact journals. It is about time that we all recognize and celebrate Kristen. I also had the opportunity to interact with Anthony Harris, who heads the division and with Kristen is now. And as you all know, to get 2 full professors to agree on anything, especially with Anthony, is a rare event. And so having a kappa of a 1.0, it is a true agreement. And I think we can all agree that Kristen is a great teacher, inspires a lot of students, cares a lot about what she's doing and doing the right thing for the department, but the greater university as a whole, and really as a well-grounded, great epidemiologist. And always very selfless in putting others first. And in academia, sometimes, we oftentimes benefits ourselves and our own science, at the cost of others. And that's not Kristen, because Kristen is, I believe, and I do believe, having worked with her in many years now, is if my science doesn't, excel and my team doesn't, it's not a win. And because of that, I really truly feel she is a quintessential team player and a global health leader. And I'm really proud of her accomplishment. And I congratulate her, and thank you to Anne and their 2 dogs, Scout and Poppy, for allowing me to steal a lot of her time in the past many years, and look forward to seeing brighter future things ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, man. And thanks for joining us today. And Kristen.
Hey guys, it's not fair for man to say nice things. It makes me choke up, but sincere thanks, Dr. Magaziner, for including me and all of the global wanderers in the department. Thanks to all who have invested in me throughout my career, Thanks to Anthony Harris, my division chair in EPH. I'd specifically like to thank a few people, Dr. Carrie Tom, John Sorkin, Mary Claire Roebman, Sham Coates-Leal, David Riedel, and Mo Sajadi for their advice, guidance, and support, helping me launch my research career. I'd especially like to thank Dr. Man Cherarat, my division director at the IHV, for giving me a research home, guidance, mentorship, and a truly supported path for advancement. Thanks to all my colleagues here and abroad, especially Joyce Johnson and Sherry Sylvester, who provide a ton of administrative support. Thanks to my students who teach me something new every day. I'd like to congratulate all of my colleagues who were also promoted. Thank my family who were very patient. Thanks to my mom, my dad, my sister, brother-in-law, nieces and nephews, my in-laws, and most importantly, my wife, who's my biggest supporter and the whole reason I can do anything at all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you very much. We will now acknowledge and recognize the 2021 promotions. And with that, we'll start off with Olga Golombiva, who is a professor and is awarded tenure. And again, Soren Benson will acknowledge and say a few words about Olga.
It's a great pleasure for me to say a few words about Olga Golubova, who has been awarded tenure as a professor. Olga received a Master of Science in Engineering from the National University of Science and Technology in Moscow in Russia in 1979. And then she earned a PhD in Engineering in Optimization of Industrial Processes, also from Moscow in 1993. She got, after moving to Canada, she got a Master of Science in Mathematical Statistics from Halifax at Dalhousie University in 1999. From 1999 to 2011, she worked as a biostatistician at St. Jude's Children's Hospital, at Dana-Farber, and at University of Maryland Greenbaum Cancer Center. And in 2011, she was appointed an associate professor on the non-tenure track in the Department of Epidemiology and Public Health here with us. And then in 2016, she was promoted to professor. And today we are celebrating her being awarded tenure. Olga serves as one of the 3 biostatisticians who support the Cancer Center P30 grant. She has an impressive publication track record, 114 peer-reviewed publications at the time of her awarding of tenure. Her research activities span widely, but are mainly centered around preclinical and clinical cancer research, in particular study designs and analysis, and that includes analysis of big registry data sets, which is a special interest of hers. I should also mention that Olga and I share the statistical reviews of all cancer clinical trial protocols at the UMB, and that's a huge amount of work actually, and I have to say that I really appreciate Olga's help in that respect, and all the thoughtful reviews that she has produced and is producing over the years. She has had a long track record of extensive grant funding over the years. She has been active in our teaching programs. Specifically, she has been the director of PH61, a 3-credit hours course required for the MPH degree, and she has been the director for 10 years now. She has also been extremely active in mentoring and supervision. She has mentored 17 students, including 2 postdoctoral students, 8 fellows and residents, resulting so far in 10 mentored publications. I think I should mention that this has been a tough year for Olga, not just because of the pandemic, but she got hit by a car while crossing the street, and she got really badly injured. But I think it's a testament to her character that she was back starting to work, at least part-time, within a few days after the accident while she was still in hospital. she is definitely a fighter, and it has been a really astonishing experience to see how she fought back from that accident. So in addition to everything else that she has accomplished professionally, I think perhaps this awarding of tenure is a fair award for all her work and for her fighting spirit. So it's great to have you on board, Olga, and congratulations with being awarded tenure.
Congratulations, Olga. And would you
Thank
like
you.
to say a few things?
Firstly, thank you very much. It's truly an honor to achieve this milestone. I joined Greenbaum Cancer Center in 2003, and in some ways feels like yesterday, but it's nearly 2 decades. And I can honestly say that I have felt lucky and proud to be here and to work with our incredible team of oncologists and scientists. I'd like to acknowledge and thank Dr. Cullen for his leadership, his support for his team, his kindness, dedication, and sense of humor. I want to express sincere thanks to Jay Magaziner as a chair of the department where I'm happy to be teaching. Thank you for the kind invitation to join your group. I'd like to thank Soren, who has been leading our shared service, biostatistics shared service, all my collaborators, fellow statisticians, all other staff who might be behind the scenes, but keep this important place running. I would like to single out Sania Amr for her work and for her support. She helped me to organize years of work into one all-encompassing binder. I want to thank all my colleagues for being part of my life and life here, and what's been an interesting and truly rewarding career. And I definitely want to follow Oscar rules and thank my family, my mother, my husband, my daughter, my granddaughters who are teaching me now how to breathe when you swim freestyle. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Olga. Truly a pleasure. And next we'll turn to Anne Gruber-Baldini, who is live with us also. And I have a few remarks about Anne.
It is a great pleasure to tell you about my colleague, Anne Gruber-Baldini, who is being recognized today for the awarding of tenure. Anne's record of research, teaching, and service, along with her reputation as expert in cognition and aging locally, nationally, and internationally, all speak to her qualifications for this academic achievement. I've worked with Anne for over 25 years and have witnessed tremendous growth in her scholarly achievements and value as a scientist, educator, and leader. Anne's research focuses on cognition, psychosocial processes, patient-reported outcomes, and aging, particularly related to hip fracture, Parkinson's disease, delirium, Alzheimer's disease, and related dementias, and more recently, HIV and aging. She also is a multiple principal investigator of the Epidemiology of Aging training program and has published her research extensively with over 150 articles to her credit. Anne also was well recognized for her teaching and mentoring. She was appointed the director of the graduate program in Life Sciences graduate program in Epidemiology and Human Genetics in 2017 and has made critical improvements to the program consistent with the evolving nature of graduate education and the teaching of both epidemiology and human genetics. She teaches 2 required courses and serves on the Gerontology Doctoral Program Steering Committee. She's mentored many doctoral and medical students and has served on 23 dissertation committees in the last 9 years. When it comes to service, Anne rarely turns down an opportunity to contribute her perspective, energy, and time, whether in the department, school, or elsewhere outside of the university. Within the department, she heads the Appointment, Promotion, and Tenure Committee and Computer Committee. Nationally, she serves or has served on the editorial boards of 3 journals and was a founding board member and treasurer of the American Delirium Society. I've known Anne for more than 25 years and seen her family develop and grow up and watched her flourish as an academic scientist. She works very well with many different people and has made many valuable contributions to our programs in epidemiology and aging. In addition, it is a great pleasure to work with Anne.
Anne, a few
Well,
comments?
thank you. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, I mean, who would have thought 27 years ago I'd still be here? And I want to thank Jay and the department for giving me this opportunity. I'd like to thank all of my colleagues that I've worked with in the division, Jay, Denise, Michael, Jessica, Jack, and Alan. I'd also like to thank the administrative staff that are in there, Justine Golden, and support staff, Justine Golden, Joella Trenchard, Lauren Schvand, and Sunita Shakya. Also colleagues across the School of Medicine and the campus. Lisa Schulman in neurology has been a longstanding colleague, and I really appreciate a lot of her support. My new collaborations with Sarah Schmalzley and Kristen Stafford, others in the department, such as Jennifer Albrecht, Michelle Chardell, and others. And I've also people in school of nursing, everyone. It's been, you're saying it's a village, but there's a lot of great collaboration at the university, and I've really enjoyed all of my interactions. I think, my students have been such a great motivation, and, both in the epidemiology and human genetics and in the gerontology program, and that's been a great source of satisfaction for me over the years. And I'm trying to think, I feel like I'm like on the whatever list. Am I going to forget somebody? If I've forgotten you, I'm sorry. But again, I'll end with everybody. I do want to thank my family. My parents were a great support network, and I miss them daily. My sister Amy's on the line, but she won't show her face. That's okay. And my children, Evan and Adar, are quite an inspiration. And I want to thank my husband, Randy, for his love and support through all of this. And again, thanks to the APT committee for doing all the work to get the paperwork in. Thank you so much.
Great. So next we turn to Sally Adabamawo. Sally is being promoted to associate professor, and a few comments from her division head, Joanne Dorgan, who heads the Division of Cancer Epidemiology. And that'll be recorded, as will Sally's comments following. Joanne.
Sally, I wish I could be there in person to congratulate you on your well-deserved promotion to associate professor in the Department of Epidemiology and Public Health at the University of Maryland School of Medicine. You have been remarkably successful since coming to the School of Medicine, and your trajectory continues to rise. I congratulate you and wish you continued success in the years to come. To provide some background, Dr. Adabamawo received her MBBS in Medicine and Surgery from the University of Ibadan, Nigeria in 2007, after which she received her Master's of Science in Clinical Trials from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine in 2011, and her SCD in Nutrition Epidemiology from the Harvard School of Public Health in 2014. Subsequently, Dr. Adabamawo completed postdoctoral research fellowships at Harvard University and at the National Human Genome Research Institute at NIH. Dr. Adabamawo joined the School of Medicine faculty as an assistant professor in the Department of Epidemiology and Public Health in 2016. Dr. Adabamawo has an exceptionally strong record of research productivity. Since joining the School of Medicine faculty, she has authored more than 70 publications, including 11 as first or senior author. Much of her research is in high-impact journals such as Nature and Cell. Her citation index is 5,410, and her H index is 35, which are exceptional. Dr. Adebamolo has been very successful at securing extramural funding while at the School of Medicine and is currently funded 95% on grants and contracts. She is a PI on a multi-PI U24 from NHGRI and on an MCI contract. She also is a co-investigator on 4 additional grants. Globally, cervical cancer is a major contributor to cancer death among women, and Dr. Adebamolo's research on human papillomavirus and cervical cancer risk has potential to transform the landscape of this disease. Dr. Adebamolo contributes importantly to the educational mission of the department. She has been the course director for applied epidemiology since 2018. She also lectures in several graduate courses and leads small groups for medical students. Consistently, students rate Dr. Adebamolo's teaching very highly, and she received the School of Medicine MPH Mentoring and Teaching Award in 2021. Dr. Adebamolo's service record while at the School of Medicine has been exemplary. She provides service through the Department of Epidemiology and Public Health, the Greenbaum Cancer Center, and the University of Maryland Global Health Interprofessional Council. She also serves on multiple national and international committees. Dr. Adebamolo has been an associate editor in oncology since 2019 and reviews for several other journals as well. Sally, your promotion to associate professor is well deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you, Joanne. And Sally, a few comments.
Thank you, Dr. Duggan. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to have been promoted to the rank of associate professor in our department. I realize that it is a rigorous, competitive, and thorough evaluation of one's contribution to science, training, and service. I could not have achieved this without the strong support that I've received from the Cancer Center, this department, my division of cancer epidemiology, my mentoring committee, Drs. Kevin, Joanne, Dan, and Clement, my colleagues, my trainees, my friends and family, who have been very generous with their time, resources, and advice. I look forward to many more years of productive engagement with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sally. And next, we're going to turn to Jessica Brown, who is, we'll have a pre-recorded comment from me, and then a pre-recorded comment from Dr. Brown.
I'm very pleased to tell you about Jessica Brown, who is being recognized for her promotion to associate professor. Jessica has achieved great success in all areas required for promotion, including teaching, scholarship, and service. She is an exemplary teacher and service provider within the Master Public Health program. She also has been awarded federal and private research funding to pursue innovative aging research. Jessica takes great pleasure in leading multiple aspects of our Master of Public Health program. Since 2015, she has led the capstone program and now the practicum for MPH students. She also has been actively involved as a member of the MPH executive and now chairs the very important curriculum committee. She teaches in the program, advises students, and has been recognized as a member and officer in the Beta Tau chapter of the Delta Omega National Public Health Honor Society. Capping this off, her excellence in educating graduate students has been recognized twice, once in 2014 and again in 2018 through the Master of Public Health Faculty Teaching and Mentoring Award. In addition, Jessica has a unique and active research program working across multiple areas that are of great importance to the well-being of older persons. These include studies of sleep and health and the development of efficient methods to increase the diversity of older participants in aging research. Knowing Jessica, since she joined the department as a postdoctoral fellow in 2016, I could go on about her many talents and accomplishments. In all that time I have known her, she has consistently maintained a very calm, quiet, and deliberate demeanor. That said, I have to tell you, she is not at all shy about addressing challenging issues with me and others. She has a real knack for letting me know when things are not going according to program. Still, she understands organizational challenges and remains highly dedicated to her educational efforts, her research, and the wider university community. She is someone I and others very much trust and enjoy working with. Congratulations, Jessica.
And Jessica, pre-recorded.
Good afternoon. It's an understatement to say that we are disappointed that the pandemic has continued to impact not just our daily lives, but our seasonal and annual events, such as this one. But I'm very grateful for the team who's been working for weeks to put together this program so we can celebrate my accomplishment of earning promotion, as well as those of my colleagues who are being honored today. In the time I've been given to speak, it would be absolutely impossible for me to recognize and express the gratitude that I have for everyone that has contributed to my career development through my training and my early career. Instead, what I'd like to do is recognize some individuals whose invisible work is a little more proximal to the promotion process and highlight the APT committee. So thank you, Dr. Ann Gruber-Baldini, for your excellent leadership of the committee and always answering my questions very quickly and very compassionately. I'd also like to express my deep gratitude to my APT liaison, Dr. Edna Ferreira. Again, thank you for so quickly writing back to me and so compassionately answering all of my detailed questions along the process. You really did calm my anxieties. And of course, I can't forget Rhonda Caldwell-Dove, who had the awesome responsibility of collating and organizing all of the materials for promotion packets. Like I said, your work is often invisible. It's not something that we see in the promotion process throughout the year, but I'm very, very grateful for all of the support that you have all provided me through this interesting process. And you are part of what contributes to being part of such a great department. And I'm so happy to continue to be part of this department. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Jessica, just can wave to the crowd. Jessica, thank you. And next, not least but last, is Patrick Dacom. And his comments about Patrick are going to be made by Clement Adebamwa, one of his colleagues that he works with. And there'll be some pre-recorded remarks made by Patrick.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure today to say a few words about my most esteemed colleague in the department, Dr. Patrick Dacom. Dr. Dacom attended the illustrious Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, Nigeria, where he earned the MBBS, and he followed this up by earning a master's degree in public health. He subsequently started to practice public health medicine and was utilizing and promoting implementation and dissemination science. During the course of his career, he was invited to serve as the commissioner for information. He did this meritoriously and subsequently served as commissioner for health in the same state. Dr. Dacom first became associated with the University of Maryland through the work of Dr. William Blattner. He was appointed Director of Health Programs at the Institute of Human Virology and Chief Executive Officer of the affiliate of the Institute and assistant professor in our department. In these roles, he has been teaching and mentoring students and faculty in our department, in other departments in the School of Medicine. And beyond the School of Medicine, Dr. Dacom teaches implementation science in the MSc Implementation Science degree program. And in Nigeria, he leads the University of Maryland's implementation programs in HIV, malaria, tuberculosis, and other diseases, which has been funded for the past several years by the CDC and several other agencies. and the team that he leads in Nigeria has been very successful. The Institute of Human Virology now has 2 centers of excellence for University of Maryland faculty and students who have taken advantage of this resource and have been supported by the Institute of Human Virology in Nigeria and Dr. Dakum to implement different research and implementation programs. Dr. Dakum himself is no slouch in the area of research. His research focuses on implementation and dissemination science, an area where he has published extensively, over 55 publications in high-impact peer-reviewed journals. And along with others, he established the Nigeria Implementation Science Association. It's difficult to capture the extensive contributions that Dr. Dakum has made. Is really a very amazing guy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Clement. And
good
Patrick.
afternoon.
Well, Dr. J. Magaziner, thank you so very much for the opportunity to be able to accept this promotion to associate professor. I'm very grateful. It is an opportunity, and I believe it's an opportunity for more work, for more contribution to the department. And therefore, Jay, thank you so very much. And this, I believe, is an acceptance in the sense that I'm supposed to be sitting there, but I'm not. I'm somewhere far away in Nigeria. The journey has started for me several years ago, in the sense that Dr. Blattner in 2004 came up with a vision of establishing a system whereby the West Africa or West Baltimore will collaborate with West Africa on a research platform. And part of that was to take the expertise in West Baltimore, University of Maryland specifically, and take it to West Africa. And then from West Africa also bring the experiences and also set up a system where knowledge will be shared. Therefore, the journey has been long, 2004 to now. I believe that all this has culminated now in my being promoted to associate professor from the services research that you have all heard. So let me say thank you to my co-travelers. I call them the IHV Nigeria team. Some of my mentors are here. You can see Professor Clement Adebamao, Professor Abimiku, they are all on this. And of course, I want to say a very big thank you to Professor Man Cherurat, who is the head of division at the Institute of Human Virology, where I am based. Then finally to William Blattner, who has been the initiator. He's retired now. He has been the initiator of this collaboration. Finally, of course, to my staff that I work with in Nigeria, over 600 staff, they've also been part of this journey. To the University of Maryland community, thank you so very much. And congratulations to every other faculty that also has been promoted. Thank you very much. And let's have a very good ceremony and opportunity to work more and to collaborate more. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Patrick. And you are here with us. You can just.
And of course, to all my family members that are here also.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I see some Dakums on the phone, so I know they're family members here. You know, I, as department chair, I'm just so very incredibly impressed with the accomplishments of these 13 faculty members that have been promoted over the last 2 years. We're a faculty of about 50, and to every single one, we are just such a wonderful group of people to work with so many diverse interests and so many opportunities for collaboration. I'm just so thrilled to be working with so many wonderful people in this department. So I'm just very proud of everyone's accomplishments. And I think with that, I'm just going to close the ceremony.